for choosing Chain-Link Theater. We invite you to sit back and relax in the comfort of your car, or gym, or wherever you are. Please remember that talking is permitted during the feature, as that is literally the entire point of the show. So please, turn up your cell phones, grab your own snack, and hold on to your butts! Your feature presentation begins now!
Welcome back to Chain-Link Theatre, the show where every movie leads us to the next, one actor at a time. I'm Autumn.
And I'm Kyle.
And today we're linking from Citizen Kane into Soylent Green, thanks to our next link in the chain, the who even is that himself, Joseph Cotten.
I'll be honest, I didn't know who that was.
Me neither, never heard of him. But reading about him, he's pretty fascinating.
He is. He was born in 1905. What did it say? May 1st?
Yeah. What else do you know about him? This is your job.
May 15th, 1905.
He was in the stage production of Philadelphia Story in 1939. So I guess what I think is the most interesting about his past is all of the like near misses and mirrors of his career to my favorite actor, Cary Grant.
Yeah, it seemed like Cary Grant took quite a few roles from this man just by virtue of being more
hot
attractive
and talented.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, like, it kind of seems like their careers were complementary.
He was in that stage production in 1939. They made a movie of it in 1940, and the producers decided they needed somebody with more star power.
Yeah.
And when that happened, he got passed over. He decided to call his old buddy, Orson Welles, because him and Orson were
part of, like, what's it called? The Mercury Triad.
The Mercury Theatre.
Yeah. Mercury Theatre together in Florida, right?
Sure.
Something
I have no idea where it was.
Yeah. And
he was born in Virginia.
With that passover, he got his job in Citizen Kane.
He called Orson when he got passed over because he was ready for his big break into Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And Orson was like, well, I'm already working on Citizen Kane. Why don't you come work on that with me?
Yeah. And got his job as Leland.
And
then he also, the Notorious, Cary Grant's movie Notorious.
In 1943. Well, Hitchcock's movie, Notorious.
Cary Grant.
Joseph auditioned. That's what it's called. I was about to say applied.
Yeah.
Auditioned, and Hitchcock was like, no, I need Cary Grant.
Who doesn't?
I guess. So a lot of his career, interestingly enough, was...
But then he went on to do the radio version of Cary Grant's character.
In Notorious.
On
the radio, yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they knew each other. I'm not
sure
Joseph was a fan.
Why would you not be? Cary Grant always seemed like a really nice person.
Well, you might have Joseph Cotten posters up if he was in Philadelphia Story.
But then who would be in Bringing Up Baby and Father Goose?
Joseph Cotten.
Can't even imagine. It's like a sliding doors moment.
Yeah, well, butterfly effect.
Yeah. So also... Joseph Cotten is in Gaslight, which is a very common term nowadays.
Yeah, because of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie about a husband manipulating a wife into believing something that's not true.
And Joseph Cotten's apparently the one who convinced her that she's being gaslit.
Yeah, I think he's a detective or something.
Yeah.
That's one of his bigger roles. He worked with Orson a lot during his life. Most of the projects that Orson did, he brought Joseph along.
He brought like the Mercury Theatre
really, all
group.
of his Mercury players, most of the people from Citizen Kane, yeah.
Which is interesting. Didn't you say that he also worked with Hitchcock a bunch, or on Hitchcock's favorite movie or something like that?
I don't know about a bunch. He was in Shadow of a Doubt in 1943, which is a, B-level Hitchcock film. Hitchcock made a lot of films.
True.
Like hundreds. But Hitchcock actually is on record as saying Shadow of a Doubt is his favorite film, mostly because of Joseph Cotten's performance.
Interesting. I've never heard of Shadow of a Doubt.
Well, I've never heard of Joseph Cotten.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
Last week.
But yeah, he didn't pass away until 1994, which would be like, I don't know why, but like one of the things.
88.
I like walking around cemeteries, and especially the old parts of cemeteries, and seeing like the crazy lives that some of these people lived. You know, like you went from like horse and buggy to the internet.
Yeah, he was involved in the earliest golden age of Hollywood until he probably stopped in about the 80s.
Like his memories of the Titanic sinking are like our memories of the Murrah bombing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that
He would have been
nuts?
about the same age. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, interesting guy. Sorry I didn't know who he was till last week.
No, I like him.
I like him too.
Yeah, man. A chain link tradition. He's not in this.
No. He's in like 2 scenes and then he's gone.
He's gone.
But he's talked about the entire movie.
That's true.
So, yeah. So our history with the movie, I saw this movie, I think, in Film is Lit or something like that in high school.
Film is so lit.
Yeah. And then all I remember, of course, is the famous Soylent Green is something, if you've never heard it.
Yeah. Well, in hearing about movies,
You should
in my
definitely
life,
know
I've
where this
heard-
is going.
yeah, I've heard the famous quote. I didn't ever register what it meant until a few years ago.
Really?
Well, yeah, what does that mean?
Well, because I mean, Soylent Green, what is that?
Yeah, I
So,
don't know what that is. It's a ugly word is all I know.
Yeah.
So I don't have any history with this movie other than hearing the quote
Yeah.
my whole life, which
All right.
we're dancing around and not saying because it's going to spoil the plot.
Yeah, but if you're here, aren't you here for the plot to get spoiled?
Yeah, but some people don't watch the movies and they
So
just
we'll
listen to
reveal
us.
it later
We'll
on.
reveal it later.
Okay. So 1973, Richard Fleischer, directed by.
Directed
Never
by
heard of
Richard
him
Fleischer, who directed 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea,
either. Okay.
Red Sonja,
Oh, okay. I used to love Red Sonja.
Conan the Destroyer, not the Barbarian,
Okay.
and famously Amityville 3D.
Hell yeah.
He got his start directing Child of Divorce in 1946.
Wow.
So he's had just as long a career almost as Joseph.
That's
here.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a nuts.
That is a nuts. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add? Because we don't have a deep history with this movie, obviously.
Nor this actor,
No.
which we'll get to our opinion of the movie at the end. I guess I should read the back of the box.
Go for it.
Soylent Green is landmark screen science fiction, a riveting entertainment, and a cautionary tale that holds a mirror to a tomorrow rife with ecological disaster. Working well again in the futuristic genre following Planet of the Apes and the Omega Man, action titan Charlton Heston.
I get what they're saying.
What are they saying?
They're just saying that, like, oh, he's good in this too.
Okay. Let's working well again in the futuristic genre following Planet of the Apes and the Omega Man, action titan Charlton Heston portrays Thorn, a detective prowling the dank streets of a polluted, overpopulated Big Apple gone rotten in 2022.
Yeah.
He's trailing a murderer, and the trail leads to a stunning discovery. Vividly realized, Soylent Green's world gains its power not just from its special effects, but from its heart, a human dimension magnified by the performance of legendary Edward G. Robinson in his moving screen farewell. That's the guy that plays Saul Roth.
Oh, okay.
Man, they said a lot. That's a lot of words.
Yeah, I called Saul Roth Book because I didn't know his name until.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what he
The end of
said
the
at the
movie.
beginning.
Well, because the cop calls him your book.
Yeah,
So I just called him Book in all my notes.
that works.
But
That's
okay.
what we're talking about.
Are you ready to go?
Let's go.
So we open the movie with just like pictures, old timey-wimey sepia tone pictures of what the world was like before this dystopian, bullshit that caused the world to end, essentially. So pollution destroyed their world, which a little close to home.
Yeah.
A little close to home. They're talking about like how hot it is and how now there are 40 million people living in New York City.
Good Lord.
How many people live in New York City right now?
I did some research. In 1973, New York City had 7.6 million people in it.
That's a lot.
And in 2022, it had 8 million.
Okay, so not a
There's
huge-
not enough room for 40.
No.
Which the movie makes clear.
Yeah, they make it very clear. Yeah. So Charlton Heston, his name is Thorn in this movie. He's a cop and he's in his apartment listening to the news. And there's an advertisement for Soylent Red and Soylent Yellow. And then there's like a new ad for Soylent Green, And they're saying that it's a very popular new food, and then it's being harvested by from ocean plankton, but it's in very high demand. And they say that you can only get it on Tuesdays until it runs out, and then you have to wait till next Tuesday for your chance.
Yep, Tuesday is Soylent Green Day.
So people are like, obsessed with Soylent Green.
It must be delicious.
Then Book. It must be really yummy or packed with protein or something.
Yeah.
Because basically he eats Soylent Yellow later in this scene, and he's like, it's bland and flavorless.
Yeah.
It's because it looks like Soylent Red and Yellow. They say something about how Soylent Yellow is soybeans. So it's like a tofu, I guess. Mm-hmm. But basically food is not for enjoyment anymore. Food is for survival.
Yeah.
Period. And if you have the luxury of having quote unquote real food, then you're very wealthy.
Yeah.
Because most people haven't ever seen real food in their lives.
No.
So anyway, Book, what's his name?
Saul Roth.
Saul Roth. I'm going to call him Book probably. Book starts reading a list of criminals for cases that Thorne is currently working on, and they're discussing who he should go after today and what's left to be done on those cases. He's got a couple murderers and a rapist on his list of people he needs to go after. And so, the old man is old enough that he remembers what food was like before the world was destroyed.
Yeah, and he's sad.
And he's very sad that
nothing sucks now.
Nothing has any flavor anymore. And he's just kind of reminiscing about his childhood and how you used to love to eat, and food was like love kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And Thorne is just basically like, yeah, because he's never lived in that world.
Yeah, he does that typical film thing where he repeats everything he's saying, how he's saying it to prove he's heard it 100 times.
Yep. Yeah, this is a soapbox that Saul gets on a lot.
Yeah.
So then their power goes out, and then Saul gets on a bike to power up their batteries. Yeah. Which honestly, that's great. That's eco-friendly AF.
Well, they have to be eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that would be the only way you could get me to want to work out.
That's it?
Like if my internet was tied to working out, then I probably would bike a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure you would.
I would. I have to have it. So Thorne leaves to go to work. He says it's the night shift. So he goes, and they're like...
There's a sleepover on the stairs.
Yeah, he walks past a guy with a gun at the top of the stairs. Yeah. And there are about 50 people sleeping in the stairwell of his apartment.
Yeah.
Like all over each other sleeping. And basically every time we walk into a building in these places, there is no floor. You're just walking over people, and people don't react to it because this is so common.
Yeah.
So outside looks gross because he says it's the night shift, but then we flash to a different scene and it's daylight. And it's two white dudes meeting, and they meet in a car because there is no privacy here. So they just get into a car that's parked like the wrong way on the street because you can't drive anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like kind of like Walking Dead season 2. You know, the scene where they're stuck on the highway for so long?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Dead cars everywhere.
And people are clearly living in cars or something. Yeah. And so they have a meeting, and one of the white guy gives the dirtier white guy a crowbar looking thing.
Yeah, a meat hook, we find out later.
Yeah. Well, I was confused because I thought this was Thorne for a hot second. And then I was like, is that Charlton Heston? And you were like, no. And I was like, oh, just a different white guy. And so then we get to see Joseph Cotten, and he's like filthy rich with a really nice apartment. And for a while, he either has a hot girlfriend or a daughter, because at this point I didn't know who she was, but probably a girlfriend because he has money.
Yeah, no, she's just playing a video game called Computer Space on this big, huge,
very creative,
white, futuristic looking.
Well, okay, what 1973, did arcade games exist in 1973?
Pong did. Pong came out in 72. The first video game ever was like the 50s.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't really like on a screen like we're used to. It was like on an oscilloscope.
What?
Yeah, it was like a static screen where it had lights moving behind it it was a tennis match, so it was basically also Pong.
Okay.
From 1957 or 8, I think. Okay. And it would just have like two lights being the paddles behind this overlay, the actual printed overlay of a tennis court, and then a light being the ball bouncing.
How did it keep score?
I don't know if it did.
Oh, okay. So kind of like, you remember those things when we were kids where it was like a piece of paper sort of that would roll and then you would drive the little car back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. So, very inventive for the like that being the idea of the future.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But so Joseph Cotten's hot girlfriend goes to pick up actual food, like actual vegetables.
Yeah.
With the bodyguard. And she's buying like real beef, and her name is Miss Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah.
Yeah. And so then we get Crowbar Kid hitting a wall for some reason. I didn't know at first, but apparently.
Man, I like this. I loved this shot.
It was a very dystopian shot.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
It shows like a, what's that, like a drainage ditch, like the LA River almost.
Yeah.
It was clearly filmed at daytime, and they just put dark blue color
I love
grading
when they do that.
over
They
it.
do that in old James Bonds all the time.
Yes.
Where they're like, we couldn't go outside at night.
Yeah. But it's in the background, it's got all these futuristic looking buildings. It's cool. It doesn't really fit with what they showed us New York looks like the rest of the time, but
Well, yeah, no.
it looked cool.
No, but so he used the crowbar to make handholds in the side of the drainage ditch, which I thought was actually pretty smart writing.
Yeah.
And then he uses that to climb up and go under the fence because he's clearly breaking into a wealthier neighborhood, a very wealthy neighborhood. It's clean.
Yeah.
So then we see exactly one security guard between him and Joseph Cotten's apartment.
Yep.
One.
Yeah.
That's it. So he comes in to kill Mr. Simonson. That's what we figure out Joseph Cotten's name is. And Joseph Cotten is not surprised
No.
at all that this is happening. He basically is just like, yep,
Well, and the guy's like, they told me to say they're sorry.
but you've become unreliable.
And he's like, well, that's true.
And he's like, well, that's true. And then he says, the murderer says, like, they can't risk a catastrophe. And Joseph Cotten is like, they're right. They can't.
Yeah.
And so Joseph Cotten basically just sits there on his knees and lets this guy bludgeon him to death.
Yeah.
And then see you later, Joseph Cotten.
Yeah. I would have been like, nah, I'll handle it. Don't hit me with a meat hook.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's dead.
Yeah.
But we talk about him the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but Joseph Cotton's never in it again, though.
No, we talk about him the whole time, though.
Yeah.
But so my next note says Heston is talking to someone about something, about parts or something. I don't know. There was a lot of really fast conversations.
There were, yeah. It's
So
written very
find out
quickly.
that he's responding to the Simonson murder.
Yes.
That's what he's responding to. And so he starts interviewing the bodyguard, and he says to Miss Cheryl, he says, "Are you furniture?" And she says, "Yes." And he says, "Personal or the buildings?" And she says, "The buildings." So basically we find out that women in this society, some women come with apartments.
Yep.
And you can decide whether or not you want them to be there or not, but they just stay there.
Yeah.
They're called your furniture,
Yep.
which is insane. But other than the implications of that. So,
Jesus.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, to be fair though, in this society, she says that Cotton was very nice to her. So that's nice, but you could also get the shit beat out of you by a psychopath, but you get the privilege of having real food. So I'm just saying, like, what are women's, I don't know.
Options.
What are your options in this society?
Yeah.
So anyway, then we find out that William R. Simonson is, like, he asked the bodyguard what his occupation is, and the bodyguard's just like, rich. And then Charlton Heston's like, rich how? And then he's like, well, he's a lawyer and politics. And this is while Charlton Heston, like, I guess Detective Thorne, is walking around just sizing up all the shit that Thorne has, or
Yeah.
not Thorne, but Simonson has in his house.
Yeah, he's wearing just a jacket and pants.
And an ascot
And an ascot.
that he wears the entire time.
Is he wearing the blue hat in this scene too?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, no, he's wearing like an ascot the entire, he looks dirty. He looks gross.
Yeah.
So, but he's like asked the bodyguard to get him booze, and the bodyguard's like, no, like, why would you need that? And he's like, get it anyway. I don't care. And he's just stealing shit, just openly taking
just
stuff
picking
from
shit up and putting it in his pockets.
He goes and steals a pillowcase and just starts putting stuff in the pillowcase.
Yeah.
Like, clearly not concerned that there's a dead body here.
Well, and the bodyguard's just following him around like, yeah, this is what cops do.
This is what, yeah, which makes it's interesting to me because I understand why Thorne is acting like this, because Thorne's probably never seen luxury like this in his life. But wouldn't you, if you were like super duper rich, have like a special police force that would handle this?
Yeah, you'd have to pay them. But
but it'd be worth the cost probably to have your own people cover it.
Yeah.
Instead of someone robbing you.
Stop you from getting meat hooked in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
In the wee hours.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, later on, if they had their own cops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, facts.
So then he starts asking the bodyguard, like, where were you? And this is while he's still just like standing in front of the air conditioner, like smelling the soap.
Yeah.
Touching everything he can find.
Yes.
Laying on the couch. Like all this stuff while the body... Like, what's crazy, though, is no one acts like this is not surprising.
Yeah.
So, anyway, then he asked the bodyguard, he's like, go write a statement. And then he goes and plays in the sink water for a while.
Yeah.
And washes his face and steals a towel and the soap.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Running water is even...
Yeah, because he keeps using basically like, what are those like Gatorade igloo things? Those ones that like are used for like church
Sports
camps
events?
or sports events.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he's using for water.
Yeah.
In his apartment.
Yep.
So, and then Miss Cheryl believes that Mr. Simonson knew that he was going to die and sent them out so that he could be killed.
Yeah.
That's what her theory is. Because like the bodyguard is basically like, oh, well, no, it's not your fault. You know, like this was... I didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. That kind of a thing. And she's just like, she feels guilty about it because apparently he was a nice guy. But then Charlton Heston walks out of the apartment with like a moose knuckle and asked,
he's moose knuckling hard.
Hard. Like it looked terrible.
Or soft, I guess.
I couldn't pay attention to anything else in this scene because the pants were terrible.
He's wearing these like silky silver pants.
Yeah, that were just, and they had like weird,
up.
like, they had weird like seams around the crotch area almost. Yeah. So he's just standing there, just like moose knuckle forward.
Just meat forward.
Yeah. Asking Miss Cheryl to come in and talk to him. And then he immediately starts like looking over her body without permission, which I guess is part of being furniture, I suppose.
I guess.
Because he's surprised that she has no bruises, is what he says. And then he says basically like, did you get caught cheating? And she's like, no, I would never do that. I'm straight. I would never risk my job to cheat on him. And he was also a really nice person and never hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the coroners come to get the body, and Charlton Heston is just like all up on the couch, just laying there now.
Yeah. And they walk in and see that, and that's fine.
No one's surprised by any of this. And so, and then Miss Cheryl asks where they're taking Mr. Simonson's body. And then the bodyguard reports that it'll be taken to a waste disposal plant outside of the city.
Yeah.
Which we find out that coroners drive garbage trucks.
Bright, clean, white garbage trucks.
Yeah, but that's how many people die a day in this city.
Yeah.
That they drive garbage trucks so they can have lots of dead bodies in them. So, interesting. And then Thorne starts like sharing all of his theft with Saul.
Can we talk about the set design for Simonson's apartment?
What about it?
1973 apparently thought 2022 was going to look like 1973.
For real. Like, for real. There's nothing other than the video game, which is not even another part of this. Everything else looks like the 70s.
Yes.
Their hair, their clothes, everything looked like the 70s.
Yeah.
There's no, you're right. There's no modernization at all.
Like, there's a bit of more white, I guess, in Simons's apartment.
Less orange, probably,
less
than
brown.
normal. Yeah.
But everybody's wearing brown and green.
And has the like Charles Manson haircuts. Yeah.
Almost nothing
You're
indicates
right,
this is 50 years later.
I do not think I knew that this was 2022 after they said it.
No.
They were like 2022, and I was just like, all right.
All the cars are from the 70s,
1973.
Too. Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, no, they didn't dream big on the set, that's for sure.
No.
But then like Thorne even stole the beef that was in the dead guy's apartment.
Well, Saul asks, he's like, what all did you take? He's like, everything I could get my... No, that's the cop.
Yeah.
That's his
boss, Thatcher. Yeah. And then, but the beef brings Saul to tears because he hasn't seen it since he was a kid. So that was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then, so after giving he gives him like apples, a tomato, an onion, the beef, bourbon, soap, like all kinds. Oh, books.
Just grocery shops.
He gives
this
him
guy's
2
place.
new books because apparently books are like paper, like actual paper and pencil is rare.
Yeah.
So
He gives
new
him
books
pencils,
is
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he like the guy cries because of the new books because he hasn't seen like new books in decades.
Yeah.
So interesting. And so then there's like this line at the police station for, they call it death benefits. And it's people just lined up getting handed rations. And I don't know like if it's from your family member dying or what that's from.
Yeah.
But it was,
I'm guessing.
yeah, I guess so. But there's lines for death benefits. And then he's talking to his boss, Thatcher, about what his prospects are on his cases. And basically, he's not doing work on any of his other cases.
Yeah.
He's only working on this Simonson case at the moment. And then his boss mentions that Saul is getting old and he probably needs to get a new book. And then Thorne's like, no, I'm not getting a new book. I like him.
I like him.
Yeah, I'm not getting one.
Yeah.
And then basically the cop's like, okay, so Thatcher asks, like, where have you gotten on the Simonson, crime scene? And Thorne's like, oh, it's 100% an assassination. Like, it's an assassination made to look like a robbery, but nothing was taken. And then the cop asks, like, well, what did you take? And he says, everything I could.
Everything I could get my hands on.
And this, like, punk, supposedly, who broke into this apartment, stole nothing.
Yeah.
And he was basically he used a meat hook to make it look like it was a robbery, but you didn't take anything.
Yeah.
So someone had this guy killed. And he suspects the bodyguard straight off. And then we see like a massive line outside of people using their rations to get clean water, because that's rare too. Thorne is suspicious of the bodyguard, and he believes he was 100% involved in the assassination in some attempt. So he waits outside of the bodyguard's apartment, whose name is Mr. Fielding, until Mr. Fielding leaves the building. And then he goes in like, hey, I'm a cop. I need to go see this guy. Because there's another guy with a gun at the entrance of this apartment.
Yeah. He says we keep a clean establishment.
I'm guessing they don't let people sleep
On the stairs.
on the stairs there.
Yeah.
But what I think is interesting is that these poverty apartments have a man with a gun before you can get in. And yet Mr. Simonson's apartment didn't have that. Shouldn't there have been an armed guard at every single door
Yeah.
of those
No,
apartments?
he has the one bodyguard that he sends to do his grocery shopping.
Yeah, it's just highly suspicious. So he gets into Mr. Fielding's apartment via Mr. Fielding's furniture, who's the only one home at the time. And she is eating like a can of, or like a jar that we find out is strawberry jelly.
Yeah.
And the second he knocks on the door, she goes and hides the strawberry jelly,
Yeah.
but leaves her spoon out on accident. So that comes up.
Yep.
And then, so basically there's no warrants are not a thing, apparently.
Well, at least not for this guy.
No, because he just walks in and starts opening everything in the apartment while the furniture woman, she's a woman, is like, oh no, I don't know where he is, like, and basically giving him like vague information about the guy.
Yeah.
And then she notices that she left out her spoon and she gets super nervous for a second about it. And then she talks to Thorne a little bit more. And then he like opens something in their bedroom and makes her come look at it. And he says, oh, it's an incinerator. Yeah. And he's like, oh, does this work? And she's like, no, it hasn't in years. And then he's like, all right, well, let him know that I'm looking for him.
Let him know I was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay. And then she turns around and her spoon is gone because he took it.
Doesn't she say son of a bitch?
Yeah. She's just like, oh, shit.
Oh,
okay.
And at this point, I thought it just meant he stole it because he just steals everything.
I thought so too. I was like, oh, food. Yeah, he took it.
Yeah.
So then Thorne and his book are eating the real food. And I don't know what he made with this. It kind of looked like a chili. Did it
I
look
don't
like
know.
chili?
It looked like dog food to me.
It did look like dog food. I think it was like a chili. And there is a really, I think, adorable scene because Thorne hasn't ever really probably had hot food. So he puts it to his mouth and then is surprised by the heat.
Yeah.
The second it touches his lips,
Yeah,
which
it's
I
subtle,
thought was,
though.
it's very subtle. And I liked the scene. And then Book also like rubs the apple on his shirt, to clean it off or
Thorne
polish
just
it.
Does
and then,
it because he's doing it?
Yeah. And then Thorne's like, oh, okay, you have to do this first. But like, so they're talking about how the world was when Book was young. And he says that And then Charlton Heston basically goes, yeah, yada, yada, yada. The world was better when you were a kid. And then Book says, no, people were always awful, but the world was beautiful. Wow. Which I think is pretty deep, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
So we find out that, because Book has done some research on Simonson, because that's his whole job, is he's ChatGPT, apparently.
Yeah.
So Simonson was born in 1954, graduated in 1977 from college, and worked for the governor, Santini, who is the current governor of New York at the time.
His ears perk up when he hears Santini.
Yes. And then he specialized in freeze-dried foods and then eventually became a board member of Soylent. Mm-hmm. So... What's going on?
What's going on? And then Thorne has the old man taste the spoon. And then Book is immediately like, oh, that's strawberries. That would cost $150 a jar. And then Thorne's like, all right. So how did a bodyguard afford that? Yeah. Exactly.
Because the bodyguard's apartment building doesn't look nice. His apartment is nice, though.
Yeah. So he's a callous cop, but... apparently he's good at his job.
He's good at his job. Yeah. So then Thorne...
putting the pieces together.
Yeah. Thorne is outside, and there's it's crazy because there's supposed to be 40 million people in New York City. But at night, there is no one on the streets.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Absolutely not.
No
a single soul.
sounds. Nothing.
No.
It's just silence.
Yeah.
And so he's walking down the street and he hears someone tailing him because no one's here.
Yeah.
And then he calls he uses a police phone, which I think is interesting that they didn't dream about cell phones. They didn't dream about any technology, really.
Not at all.
No.
Even the video game is from the 70s.
Yeah. So no dreaming about cell phone technology existing at all. So he has to use basically a payphone on the side of a wall.
Or the internet. They're still doing their research and books.
Yeah, with books.
Libraries. Yeah.
So he calls his boss and basically tells him, here's what I'm thinking. This is how would a bodyguard afford this much? And his boss is like, well, his boss, I think, was interested in the investigation at this point. But then we go to the boss's office, and the white guy we saw hire the assassin is currently talking to Thatcher about and mentioning that he's from the governor's office.
Yep.
So, And then we get this weird all-girl furniture slumber party where they're just doing each other's nails and reading tarot cards, and it honestly seems pretty lit. And then a man walks in and fucking ruins all of it.
Simonson's apartment.
Yeah.
He walks into Simonson's apartment and somebody has moved way more furniture in.
Someone went to IKEA. There's so much more furniture in here. And so we find out that Cheryl is having her friends over, and Thorne came to ask questions. And then he has some of the furniture go into a separate room with him. So
one couch.
One couch, one ottoman. He has come into the room with him. And then it's just...
She's a couch. She's a whole ass couch.
She's a whole ass couch. And so... this is a scene that I didn't really like. I don't like Thorne in this scene. I don't like this dystopianness. It makes me...
I can't imagine why.
Uncomfortable because he's questioning Cheryl about the assassination and asking her to give him names of Mr. Simonson's friends while Cheryl is getting undressed because she knows that all he wants to do is have sex.
Yeah.
And so is he.
And he's just casually getting undressed too during the questioning.
Because that's what they do. Because at the end, I don't know if you caught this, but when he's leaving the bodyguard's apartment, his furniture lady says, oh, I wasn't kind to you. I should have offered. And he said, if I'd had the time, I wouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So apparently the respect for women in the 70s wasn't going to change in 50 years.
Furniture.
Wasn't going to change in 50 years either.
Yeah. So it's worse, probably.
Yeah. This was based on a book called Make Room, but that was written in 66. So it was barely before this too.
Yeah.
So he also had no visions of the future except for it's all going to get worse.
Yeah. This makes me very sad for these women, but...
yeah.
Oh, anyway. So
that's gross.
Then they have sex. And then while they're having sex, he basically, before they have sex, she also mentions that Simonson took her to church, which is especially odd because there seems to be no rich people. He basically says, if you're rich, why would you go pray for anything?
Yeah.
And then she also says that Mr. Simonson would go months without touching her recently, and then he would cry randomly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and then they start boning. So, and then the landlord who owns the IKEA is upstairs in the apartment threatening all the pieces of furniture for leaving there apartments.
he just barges in and starts screaming at couches.
Yeah, screaming at couches
Yeah.
and lampshades.
Yep.
About why they're in here and not in their apartments. Armoires. Yeah. And so
They're women, by the way,
I think is
in case
great,
we're not clear.
Yeah, he starts hitting all the couches and telling them to go back to their own apartments, which I didn't. Okay, a couple of the women start like full on like crying after they get slapped. But the way Cheryl was talking about and Thorne was talking about the treatment of quote unquote furniture, some of these women have been abused. So they should have been used to this.
Well, apparently not those two. Those two were the ones making a scene.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just feel like, shouldn't you be hardened to this?
I guess not.
I guess not. But anyway, then Thorne offers to let all the armchairs file a complaint against this man.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Who's dressed even more like the 70s than anyone else. He's wearing a full red like jumpsuit thing.
He's dressed like Dr. Robotnik.
He is. He's wearing like a red like drum major's coat
Yes,
and red
he looks
pants
ridiculous.
And red shoes.
And for some reason, he has no questions about why
hair.
someone is in this. This apartment supposedly is supposed to be empty because the owner is dead and they're getting a new tenant. And all of a sudden, there's a bunch of extra furniture in it. And the furniture is boning a cop. He's not paying the rent. No one is.
Yeah.
There's no question. So you can just walk into any apartment and just do whatever you want with any woman who's there. That's insane.
Cops can. Cops apparently have carte blanche to do whatever they want here.
He does.
He does.
Yeah. Anyway, so then all of the other Ottomans leave, and Cheryl tells Thorne that he can stay the night. And she's basically like, I don't want to be alone. The new tenant might not want me. Also, if we're going to bone again, you 100% need to wash that dick.
She tells him to take a shower.
She's like talking up showers like a lot.
She's like, remember showers?
She's like, you can take a hot shower for as long as you want because you're not touching me with that stanky ass dick again.
Aren't showers nice? I'll even rub you down. She said.
I know. She's like, go, please shower. Go do that. Thank
He said
you.
something about like, I haven't had hot water run all over me in years. And she's like, yeah, I can tell.
I can tell you. You're all nasty. I probably have a yeast infection now because of you. So anyway, they get like Thorne is super turned on by the idea of a shower and they end up boning in the shower too. And then it's really sad because Thorne is on his way to the church to talk to the priest. And he finds a dead woman on the street.
Jesus.
With a rope wrapped around her wrist tied to her child who is just sitting on the curb.
Like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, next to his dead mother.
Yeah.
And he just unties the baby without saying a word and then just walks into the church and hands it to a nun.
And it starts screaming,
It
mommy.
starts screaming. Yeah. Well, but that's because there's some freaking psycho stage mom in the 70s. Like, this always makes me so sad is when these kids have no idea why strangers are touching them or walking away with them. And their mom is just standing behind the director, just letting this torture happen.
I didn't even look at it that way.
Every time you see a baby crying in like film and stuff, they're always looking off stage at their person who's just fucking smiling.
And then Charlton Heston, the creep, picks him up.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
No, my God, where are we going? And then hands him to another lady that I don't know. Yeah. Horrifying. While your mom's just standing there like, I'm getting $50 for this.
Oh, my God.
Yay. Anyway.
Well, you put a dark spin on it.
It always makes me sad because you see those babies with like their actual big tears and they're always looking for their mom who's just ignoring them and letting this, like, a baby doesn't know what's happening. You know? Anyway, so then the priest is found and like this church is also packed to the gills. Like basically you cannot walk in this church because there's just people everywhere.
Stepping on a person. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the priest remembers Mr. Simonson because he was like, we don't see rich people anymore. So it was weird. And the priest basically seems like he's just in a complete daze.
He's in a trance. He's seen some shit.
He literally
heard some shit.
Yeah, he might have heard some shit because he says, the priest tells Thorne, I don't know. The truth is destroying me.
Yeah.
And so then Thorne's like, what truth? And he's basically just like, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
But the truth is killing me. And so, if you don't know the movie, So, Then the boss gives Thorne the paperwork claiming that Simonson's case is now closed. And they said, you're going to sign this saying it was a felonious assault, and then you're going to move on to your other cases. And Thorne's like, why would I sign that? Because it's not solved. He was assassinated, and I'm getting close to something because I'm being followed.
Yeah.
And then the boss is like, you really need to sign this. We're going to get paid if you sign this. And then Thorne's like, but it's on my head if it comes back. And then the Thatcher guy is like, I'll protect you, but you need to sign this paper, period.
And
so
this is where he's like, who's paying you?
Who's paying you? And basically, and then doesn't Thatcher say something like, he'll pay you too, but you have to sign this.
He's like, we're all getting paid as soon as we take this salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, then he gets handed a Thorne's walking out and gets handed a football helmet and is told that he's on riot control. So
yes. A very small silver football helmet.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. But he's still wearing his ascot, don't worry. And then we find out that white guy from the car, his name is Donovan, and he's talking to a new white guy about how Thorne is refusing to close the case.
Who can keep up?
There's too many white guys.
So many white guys.
So many white guys. Was this black and white?
No. Are you serious?
It feels like it was. Oh no.
It was very brown, actually.
Yeah, I think that's why I thought it was black and white. Because like now in my memories, it is black and white.
No.
Pretty sure.
It's brown and green.
Okay. And so like then we see the bodyguard in line to like in confessional to talk to the priest. And then the bodyguard kills the priest and just walks out of the church.
Yeah, nobody reacts to that gunshot going off.
Because it was silenced.
Yeah, it's silenced, but it sounded like what an actual silencer sounds like that pop, like if something wood hits a floor.
Yeah, yeah.
But
no one
cares.
reacts. No one cares. No. Because the two white guys who were talking mentioned that Thorne was seen speaking to the priest. So now the priest is dead. So they're just taking out everybody. And then we see like a market, and they're hawking like tire footwear and chipped plastic dinnerware, like Tupperware kind of stuff. Soylent Green, Soylent crumbs. Not Soylent Green.
Buns.
Soylent buns. Like they're just hawking like everything on the street.
Yeah.
And then Thorne is wearing the same outfit, but that football helmet.
Yeah, ascot and all.
Yeah, and then we see the assassin who killed Mr. Simonson in the Simonson in the crowd watching Thorne. And so the police now have to ask the crowd to disperse because they are now completely out of Soylent Green and they're trying to avoid a riot, but this immediately creates a riot.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, you need to get out of here. We're out of Soylent Green, so everyone needs to leave. And then the crowd pushes all the cops through the window. And then the police are implementing what they call scoops to get rid of the crowd, which are just like bulldozers.
We did laugh when they fell through the window because they fell so slow.
They fell so slow and in unison.
It was like they were being let down slowly.
Slow, like laid down like babies on through the glass.
Yeah.
But basically, scoops are just bulldozers
that pick up humans
and throw them in the back of a dump truck.
And nobody tries to get out of these.
No one tries to save themselves at all in any capacity. If you are caught by a scoop, you just stand there.
Yeah.
And let it happen.
Let it happen.
And so, yeah. Then the assassin, for some reason, goes to try and kill Thorne, and he shoots a woman in the head.
She screams for like 3 seconds after that, but yeah.
Yeah, shoots her in the head right in front of Thorne. And then Thorne starts running after him. And then another guy gets shot in the back. And so then Thorne, in his infinite genius, removes his football helmet.
Someone's shooting at me. I should probably remove the helmet.
Yeah, removes his football helmet and then gets shot in the calf. Motherfucker. Stop.
I didn't know. I was nervous.
It's fine. It's magnetic. Stop taking things apart. What the hell?
Sorry.
So then Thorne gets shot in the calf, and then the assassin gets squished by scoops. He gets squished.
Yeah. The scoop falls down on him, and then
it pretty much lays gently down on him.
Yeah. But then it shows red paint everywhere from where that happened.
Yeah, I know, it was stupid.
It was dumb. Well, it looked bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then the bodyguard returns home, and Thorne is already there, and his wardrobe acts like she's shocked that the man who's been hiding behind your front door was here to beat up your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she starts screaming.
Yeah.
And then, so Thorne's beating up the bodyguard, trying to ask him questions. And the bodyguard's like, I'm not going to hit a cop. And just lets him get beat up.
Yeah.
Like he's just getting beat up the whole time. And then his KitchenAid does try to fight Thorne a little bit. And hits him in the back of the head with something. And then Thorne basically is just like, do you work for Soylent? Who's paying for all this shit for you? And then the bodyguard's like, I don't have to say nothing. And then he leaves.
Yeah.
So we got no information.
No.
But then he goes to see his high-rise furniture again.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Book is going to a place called the Supreme Exchange, which is a library for books. And I mean books like people.
Okay.
So he
Yes.
goes in and he starts talking to the other books about the books that he was given.
This episode's going to be so hard to follow.
I know.
It's
But
books talking to books, couches talking to cops.
yeah. Well, now
It's
my
mayhem in the
my
streets.
very next line says the couch wants to go to another city. So the couch is trying to talk Thorne into going to another city or to the country with her. And Thorne's like, all cities are like this and you can't get anywhere in the country because it's fortified. Because you have to protect all the good land. Also, how am I going to drag a whole ass couch through New York City? But the old people at the book depository are talking about the books Book brought them. And then they come to the conclusion that Simonson was no longer reliable and that Soylent had him taken out, but they need proof of what Soylent is doing so that they can take it to the councils of the world, is what they say. And then we get to meet the new tenant, and he's giving his requirements to his couch. And he's basically like, sometimes I need you to go away, and sometimes I need a girl who is fun for my sausage parties with my friends.
Yeah. Are you fun?
Are you fun? And she's like, not really.
Yeah, she just kind of stares at him.
She just stares at him. I mean, that's literally her job. I guess you give up your body and your autonomy so you can have safety and food.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we're not in that situation because that's insane.
Yeah,
but anyway, so then Book is somewhere, and then Thorne comes home to find no Book, but a note saying that Book is going home.
Oh, yeah. I guess we skipped the part where one of the books, they find out. What?
I literally already said that.
What are you talking about?
That they talk about that they need proof of what Soylent is doing, but they don't say what Soylent's doing.
Well, they find out, and he says, "My God."
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we skipped to the part where they find out, and he says, "My God," and they say, "What God? Where could you find him?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Home." I guess you'd have to find him at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is sad because apparently Thorne gets really upset when he sees the note that says that Book is going home. And it's apparently like this kind of Scientology looking calm place.
It's a cult looking place.
Very culty, where you go to kill yourself.
Apparently.
Yeah. And so Thorne is rushing to try and stop Saul from going home.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because once he gets there, he doesn't stop him. He just lets it
it's
happen.
too late. Everything's locked.
Yeah, it's too late, but it's kind of calming. So like Saul is asked like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite kind of music? Like, what do you enjoy? And it's very calming, and they take him in there. He's like in a room all by himself, and it's like I don't know, like a pyre or an altar looking kind of bed in the middle of the room.
It is.
And then he just is laying there in a sheet by himself, and then like a video starts playing. He drinks something that they give him.
Yeah, they
and
force
then
him to.
He also asks them before he goes in. He says it's a guaranteed 20 minutes, and then they're like, "Yes, 20 minutes is what you get."
Yeah.
And so and then they start showing him like this. I don't know.
Like flower fields, like meadows.
How do you describe this room? Because it's this whole circle of a screen.
Well, they have a name for that on The Mandalorian, the Vision, I think. Remember
Well,
how
it's
on The
kinda like
Mandalorian they film in like a circle?
Oh,
screen?
yeah. Kind of like the sphere. It's all around him.
Yeah, the Vegas sphere. Yeah.
Where he's just watching like flowers and nature and running water and the world the way it was when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And then Thorne assaults an attendant to see, because they like shut a door to where he can or a window so he can no longer see Saul. and then he has them open it back up, and then they're watching this together, all the beauty of what the world used to be. And I definitely cried.
Yeah,
So,
he forces them to open it back up. They don't want to.
no.
He like assaults them for
Yeah,
it.
he assaults them for it. And then he's like, deer and the sunset and like Highway 1 in California, the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. Like,
Yeah, same.
it's amazing. And then Thorne is just watching his friend, and he's no longer like attempting to stop him to end his life or anything like that. And then he starts talking to Saul, and Saul says that he loves him and that he's lived too long. And then Saul, like Thorne also says like, well, I love you too, and all that stuff. And then like, Thorne has never seen this version of the world because he grew up.
Yeah, this is his first time seeing this.
And so he's like crying and is so moved to tears by how beautiful
It all
nature used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it made me cry. And it made you cry. I saw you crying too.
No comment.
I definitely cried. So, and then like Saul says,
never.
he says, horrible Simonson, Soylent. And then he says, listen to me, Thorne. And then the speaker stops working. And then he like threatens to shoot the attendant.
And he's like, I can't hear him. Turn
Yeah.
it back on.
And then
he
the
hands
guy
him-
gives him headphones, and we don't hear what Saul's saying, but Thorne does. And then we hear him say, you have to prove it, Thorne. Go to the exchange. That's what he says.
Yep.
And so then he dies, and he gets wheeled out with his sheet into a, like, you walk, it's like Disney. You walk in one door, walk out the other door, like a funnel.
Yeah.
So they push him through.
It's horrifying and sad and depressing.
But also kind of beautiful.
And beautiful all at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then Thorne leaves the home building is what I'm going to call it, because that's what they say they're going home. But also like, and he goes to a backstage area, which this is another instance where lack of security. What is happening? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, where is any security guard? There's 40 million people in New York, and you can't hire enough security guards?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he goes to like a backstage area where they're taking Saul's body, and the backstage area is like popping. There are like constant carts full of dead people covered in sheets, which I question.
Being wheeled into the back of garbage trucks.
Right. And I question, this is like me trying to be economical, I guess. They're already naked. You strip them naked before you put them on the bed, and then you cover them in a sheet. Why are you sending them into the dump truck in the sheet? Wouldn't you just put the naked body in the dump truck?
You would think.
And then wash the sheet?
Yeah.
How many fucking sheets are we going through in a day here?
It looked like hundreds this day.
They look like thousands, because this was literally like, we saw this back area for a minute, and there had to have been at least 10, 15 bodies coming out of those doors.
Yeah.
So people are dying constantly in this place. Anyway, I'm just saying, put the naked bodies in the dump truck. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll save you guys some money. You can hire more security guards. So then Thorne runs and jumps into the back of the garbage truck to see where it goes. And then he ends up climbing up on top of it while it's driving so he can stay hidden. And then we get to one of the like garbage dump places. And then the truck stops, and the person who was driving the truck from home gets out and is replaced by a new driver who's wearing like factory gear.
Yeah, a driver for the premises.
Yes. And so
of whatever's going on.
Yeah, so we see the back of the dump truck open up and then dump all of the bodies covered still in their white sheets like down into some kind of thing, like a vat. And then Thorne jumps off the truck and is just running through the factory. And then we see the bodies sliding like continuously, like literally like hundreds of bodies just coming down this like ramp. And they're getting dropped into a vat of water with their sheets on. Anyway, so then he follows the water line to the next prep area, and the next prep area is just Soylent Green. There are no more bodies, just Soylent Green and sheets.
Huh.
So anyway.
What could be happening?
What could possibly be happening here? And so then Thorne is spotted, and he rushes away, and he throws a guy off a ladder, and then he has a little brief fisticuffs with another guy and throws that guy off of the ledge thingy.
Probably.
Yeah. And then he gets onto another truck and escapes. But they clearly know he was there, because he's going back to his house, and he sees 4 men creeping around after curfew when there should be no men.
Well, yeah, he tries to call Thatcher on the payphone.
Yes.
In the alley.
And he can't get through to Thatcher, and they say that he's on an important call. He can't talk to you right now. And so he tells him to give him Cheryl. And Cheryl is talking to him, and she's like, the new guy wants me to live here, but I want to live with you. And Thorne's like, you just need to stay, and you just need to live. Live. That's what he says. And then the boss gets back on the phone, and Thorne just says, I need help. And then a gunfight ensues, and then lots of foot sounds. So
yeah, there's been almost no music this entire movie.
I did not notice.
It's all just, you had to have noticed during this because you can hear every single footstep during the foot chase.
You can. It was like, because it's so like, the
Visceral.
world is so full but empty.
Yeah. It's
weird.
very, very empty after dark.
Very empty.
Yeah.
But the foot sounds and lots of running, and then Thorne gets shot in the back. And then he makes it inside a church full of sleeping people who, again, this world is so overpopulated that people walking over you while you're sleeping isn't unusual.
Not at all.
No one flinches. And so we find out that one of the shooters is the bodyguard, Mr. Fielding, and he is on the trail and he's following drops of blood through the church.
Yeah, it looks like red paint. But
It looks terrible, but whatever. And then a poor woman gets up to go pee in the night.
It gets capped.
And gets capped. Yeah. And then everyone wakes up, but no one helps or tries to save their own lives.
No.
They're all just screaming.
He's not even really trying to help himself. He's not fighting back.
No.
In this little fist fight, he just keeps taking punches on the chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the shot to the back was really bad.
I guess so.
But then, like, Thorne ends up, during the fisticuffs with the bodyguard, he finds a knife and he stabs the bodyguard and he gets away a little bit.
Ribs.
Still no one's helping.
No.
Everyone's just screaming.
Yeah.
But not even everyone. They only scream when there is a gunshot or a stab.
True.
And then there's one woman going, ah.
Yeah. Again, no music this entire time.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Hatcher arrives too late to help him because he already took care of it himself. And then Thorne tells Hatcher, you need to get to the exchange. Tell them they're right. I have proof. I've seen it happening. Which is not proof, by the way.
No, that's not how proof works.
That's not how proof works.
No.
Anyway. But then
you have a location that the cops can raid if the cops aren't on the take.
Which they are.
Yeah.
So, and then Thorne says, the oceans are dying. Plankton is dying. It's people. Soylent Green is made out of people.
Oh my God.
And then the next thing he says, next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. Soylent Green is people. We've got to stop them.
And then it zooms in on his bloody hand reaching into the sky and freeze frames.
And then cuts to all the video that Saul watched of the death.
And the credits.
And then the credits roll.
That's it.
That's it. That's the entire movie. And it's still good. This is
good.
your first watching. What do you think?
It's pretty good. I don't think anything's going to change.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think that's the sad thing is
they took him out. And the cops aren't going to care.
No. Because what's the solution here? Yeah,
also,
Soylent Green is people, but
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it?
That's how we're eating.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're hungry enough, like, those men in the like Andes that Leopoldo had an episode about.
The Donner Party?
No, not the Donner Party. There was like a plane crash with like a bunch of like soccer players or something in the Andes Mountains in like the 80s or whatever. They ended up having to eat people to survive. But I mean, you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. There's 40 million people in New York City.
Yeah. And there's people volunteering for death.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a horrifying reality, but it's a harsh truth.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's got interesting things to say.
It does.
Even though it thinks it's still the 70s.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. He really should come back, Captain Planet.
Captain Planet?
Captain Planet for sure. He didn't finish his job. He just kind of fucked off and left us.
He did kind of fuck off.
Yeah. I just feel like take care of your planet. That's all.
Yeah. That's kind of what the movie's saying.
And it's not on us either. That's the crazy part. Not to get like super political or anything, but like all of the reduce, reuse and stuff like that needs to come from corporations first, not us. They're the biggest polluters.
Yeah. I don't know if the movie is good. I didn't hate it, but I've also spent weeks on Cannonball watching video game adaptation movies.
So this is like an amazing movie.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece at this point.
I still like it. I think it's really good. It's better than I remember it being. I definitely did not, because I watched it in high school or maybe even middle school. I watched it in school at some point. I did not remember women being treated like this.
Like furniture.
But I think it's a whole, I think that it's also making like a stand. Like, I don't know. I think that it's just saying like, look how horrifying this is. So I don't even think it's treating the furniture thing lightly. It's just saying like, not. Isn't this fucking horrific that a woman doesn't have consent to her own body?
Yeah.
She's just owned because of the apartment.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it is. It is nuts. It's horrifying.
It's completely horrifying, but I think it's a great movie.
I don't ever want to see it again.
Really?
Yeah. It's too visceral with the no music and it's just very uncomfortable to watch. The treatment of women, obviously.
Yeah.
The acting's good, though.
The acting is great.
It's shot pretty well.
Yeah.
The effects aren't great.
No.
It's from the 70s.
I think that now that you pointed out, I wish they had dreamed a little bit more about what 2022 would have looked like.
Yeah.
Rather than just like
just the 70s.
Changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't even have like a CTE football helmet envisioned.
I mean, I guess you could argue that if they think that the world started to collapse in the 70s, there's no more time for advancement.
That's a good point.
So,
did we ever hear when this happened? Like,
well, no, other than Solomon being nostalgic, but he's what, 80?
He would have been 80 or so. 80 years old. And I think Charlton Heston's character seemed like he was probably mid 30s. So he was probably born in what, like 80 or 90, 85, 90.
Yeah.
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 So it must have happened before then because he had no memory of this.
True.
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. I mean, I still like it personally. I think it's a good movie.
It's all right.
It's a classic, I would say.
Yeah. Yes.
And because everyone's heard Soylent Green as people.
Yeah. And now you know what it means.
Now you know what it means. I can't believe you didn't know what it means.
Well, I don't know what that word meant.
Just like, what did
I was thinking it meant like Soylent Green must be a character in the movie. He must be a politician. This must be his campaign slogan.
And you're
Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is for the people, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I always assumed.
You know?
I put it together before this viewing. I put it together years ago.
That's good. Because, yeah, I feel like I've always known what it meant. So I don't know. But I still liked it.
Well, you watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it must have been just one of those days where a teacher didn't want to teach. It was just like, here, watch Soylent Green.
That's a messed up movie.
It is.
To throw on y'all.
It is a messed up movie. But, all right. So, anything else you want to add about it?
No.
Okay.
Where are we going next? Is it my turn?
You pick the actor this time.
You got to pick Charlton Heston. There's nobody else to pick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we went all the way back to the 40s and got back to Charlton Heston, which we can definitely get back to modern day.
If I pick a modern day movie.
Yeah.
Because
I know exactly what you're going to pick.
Mega Man.
You're not going to pick that.
He's in Planet of the Apes. I couldn't even get you to
watch that. Oh, you might pick that. I'd be surprised, though. But I know what he's in that you love.
All right.
Prove me wrong.
Okay. I know you're not wrong because I'm going to pick True Lies.
Yeah, you are.
I love True Lies.
When did True Lies come out? 80?
No, like 94 probably.
Back to the 90s.
Back to the 90s. Yay, more modern day.
We got from the 40s back to the 90s in
That's
2
impressive.
Episodes. Yeah.
I liked it.
I bet we can do it again.
Oh my God, this was hard.
It was hard.
To really rack our brains for actors.
I was the whole episode on Joseph Cotten.
Yeah, who is apparently very interesting.
Yeah, very prolific.
All right, so I'm excited to do True Lies though. How many times have you seen that movie? We'll
Probably twice.
Okay, I've seen it about 90 times.
That's a lot.
This is one of my dad's favorite movies when I was a kid. So we watched it all the time.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good. I'm excited.
I think I quote it almost daily probably.
Oh, I'm interested to see what those are. I don't remember that.
We'll see if you notice when they come up.
I will.
All right, so that's a wrap for this week's episode. Thanks for joining us. If you like the show, leave a review, follow the chain, and join us next week as we leak from Soylent Green to True Lies. Bye.
See ya.